Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast. We are blessed to have Matt Moreno with us today. Matt, welcome.
No, thanks for having me, Chris.
Awesome. Number 126 on the Scotsman's Guide this year. Congratulations. A massive accomplishment, especially in today's market.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Awesome. So for our listeners, can you give us a little bit of a breakdown of how you got into the mortgage industry and more specifically, how you grew to be at the level that you're at today?
Yeah, obviously a little bit of luck for getting to where I'm at. I think uh, happens for most of us in this industry. And also, like most, I didn't come out of school thinking, I'm going to become a loan officer. Uh, kind of stumbled into it. I actually got hurt and was kind of had surgery on a knee and was kind of sofa ridden for a couple months. And because of that, I decided I was gonna, either take my real estate license test or mortgage. I always knew I liked real estate, but didn't know what kind of avenue it end up approaching. And, had some family members say, try mortgage. I think you might like it. So just like everyone took tests, passed, and then jumped on Indeed.com to find my first call center job and did that for 2, 3 years, dealing with not the best scenarios, but a lot of high touches, which
Yeah.
I think in the long run has really been what I think served me to my success now is because I've seen so many scenarios, so many ways to, make a loan work that, if you're just looking at cookie cutter, conventional or VA business consistently, you're not dealing with that. So I think that really played a lot into, my success. And then, like most, I just followed the money, went from call center to retail for a couple years, and then found out that, there's this thing called brokers who, you can send it to multiple shops. And so I went that route and helped start a brokerage with a good business partner of mine, Mike Safney, and it's just been great since then.
That is phenomenal. And how many years have you been in the business now?
So I believe it's been 8 going on 9 years now. I've been in
Wow,
lending.
that
So
is amazing. So you've seen some cycles and experiencing one right now, but still continuing to maintain in today's marketplace. So I'm very interested in where are you getting your business from now? So we'll start with kind of like a breakdown. Do you know roughly how much of your business comes from your database and comes from referral partners and comes from, direct to market advertising?
yeah, so we're pretty heavily referral partner business. So my business partner, he runs a mortgage bro or a real estate brokerage,
Oh,
and
no.
so we do in-house lending for his real estate offices. And so it's one of those where, as we get another office, we put another loan officer or myself in the location and just continue to expand, parallel with each other. And so that's been really good for us. And obviously, uh, the database. I want to say we're probably about 90% referral and about 10% from database. We don't pay for any leads or do any online generation yet. It's something we've discussed, but just because of the organic growth we've had, we just don't want to overpower it too soon and make sure we at least have all like our intricacies and processes, it's just stabilized so it's a smooth growth.
Awesome. So okay, there's a lot to unpack there. Let's go with real estate because I know so many people that are like, yeah, I paid for a desk, didn't get any business from it, or like I was able to convert two or three people out of the office, but most of the people just kept using their in-house lender or whatever it is. So how do you approach that office relationship when you know you're going into a new office?
Mhm.
How do you make sure you get as much business as possible from having that seat?
So, I think it's almost a little bit of a compound effect. The first 6 to 8 months when we first rolled this out was very slow. It took obviously a lot of, consistent face-to-face meetings, taking clients out to, agents out to golf, to dinners, to drinks, just, doing the typical experience because as you know, it's not a quick industry by any means to find success. It's a long game. You have to understand everything you do is probably going to have, a 6 month to a year timeline for you to see a result.
Hmm.
I mean, in terms of just your consumer direct, I feel like it's more of like a traditional 90-day cycle with sales. Anything you do now in terms of origination, you're not going to see for 90 days. But in terms of relationship building, I think it takes 6 months to a year to really find, that comfortability with someone that, all right, this person's sticking around. They're not just in it for the short term. They're not just hitting me up for the first 2, 3, 4 months and then go radio silent. It's like if you're consistently staying in front of that agent, constantly talking about their business, offering help with the expectation of nothing in return. I think that's what really helped us with our growth. And like I say, you get one agent to give you a shot, knock it out of the park. Then that agent now is, almost a referral source, or uh, almost like a way of talking you up for that next agent when you say, look, if you have any questions about our process or how we perform, speak to so and so. I believe they had a great experience working with us. So, ask them how their experience was, and two turns to four turns to, so it just, next thing you know, we're getting large majority of the office switching over. There's obviously fallout and anything, so I got a lot of business from fallout. And same thing, saving a deal for an agent, you look like a rock star, and you just make sure to capitalize on those moments and opportunities, and then just and then go on from there.
Yeah. And are you teaching in-house classes in the offices?
We do. So we usually probably do every 2 to 3 months we do a class. We're trying to get better at doing one a month. But
Nice.
we do classes. We were doing them in person before COVID. So I know with COVID and the Zooms, it was kind of tough just because we weren't getting as many people onto the Zoom,
Yeah.
where the in-person meetings we saw, a great turnout. I think free food always brings people into the office. So we really enjoyed that. And yeah, so I mean, like lately we've been trying to put something together for, this new 5% down for conventional, really digging in just because we're in San Diego. We're a big military base, and military uh, just affiliation. So, we want to make sure we're doing a lot of VA classes for residual income, bonus entitlement, some of these things that are, I think, for lenders, we understand it, but not your everyday realtor knows that you can have two VA loans out there at the same time. It's not a one and done type deal. So, like you said, yeah, that's definitely trying to constantly educate the agents and just be a partnership, and almost more of a family approach than, hey, I'm your mortgage guy. It's no, if you need help with something in life, just call me. Like, we're all human.
Yep. Ah, I couldn't agree more. And that's where that long-term relationship comes from. So are you supporting agents at open houses as well?
I do. So I go to open houses. I do have a team with me. So if I can't make it myself, I have one of my loan officers who goes to the house themselves, or I just try to at least make sure I have marketing done. Usually every Wednesday we send out an email to make sure if they have an open house, get it to us by Wednesday so we can get you a custom rate sheet. So that way we can do that co-branded where it's, the open house feature on one side, co-branded with, interest rates on the backside. So anyone that walks through, if they're not pre-approved or looking to get approved on the spot, you at least have an idea of what payment's going to look like.
That is amazing. And that is a huge takeaway for our listeners here today. Those Monday campaigns that go out inside the CRM in
Mhm.
order to get people engaged for that Wednesday so that you can be there at that open house, or at least your marketing can be at that open house collecting leads and following up on those leads for the agent. That's huge.
Exactly.
Um, you mentioned VA. Are
Mhm.
you doing direct to consumer classes to support your realtors in educating the end consumer, or is all of the education and classes that you're doing targeted strictly to the realtors?
So right now it's strictly to the realtors. Now we've talked about doing consumer direct, and most of those conversations have actually been with the realtor partners I work with that are VA focused, or have that affiliation with the military, where 80-90% of their business is military PCSing or moving around. So with them specifically, they obviously want to brand themselves as VA experts, and so they want to do those direct to consumers. But again, with all the changes in in-person meetings and Zooms and stuff, I feel like it's been difficult to pin it down, but it's something we've always talked about really wanting to explore, because I know a lot of, that top 10 or top 20 VA lenders on that Scotsman guide. I know a lot of those guys do, big VA seminars, and, big in-person events that, like anyone, you just have to replicate and be willing to put yourself out there.
Yeah, it's definitely supporting on direct to consumer because it's hard for
Mhm.
independent realtors. And it's amazing because you get to network with both. You get to network with consumers, you get to network with realtors all at the same place. It's fantastic. So, um, being at where you're at in the business right now, do you have anything outside of offices that you're doing to kind of fill your calendar with realtors that you're meeting? Like, what other strategies are you using to get face to face with realtors right now?
Yeah, so a lot of community events, and what I've also started doing the last probably 3 or 4 years is we do a daily rate, and we do a weekly newsletter to the realtors. So again, if I'm not working with an agent, it doesn't matter. But like you say, it's just staying top of mind. So when they refer someone to their lending partner, and that lending partner quotes them a, let's say, 7.5 rate, and they get my daily rate email that they get every single day with just your basic conventional VA, FHA, jumbo, and see that I'm 7.25 or 7 1/8. It just opens that conversation of, I'll get a text or a DM on Instagram like, "Hey, I got your email this morning. Is that really the rate? And what were the parameters you used?" Which we put in the fine print. And again, it's just it's an attention getter type thing, and really opens the door there. But outside of that, I really try to do. I have a daughter who she's 9, so we do a lot of school events. Sponsor every golf event. Their school dances, soirees. This Saturday, for example, we were at their school for pancakes with Santa, and going doing that. And so just you know being out in the community, showing that you're not just some guy behind a phone
Mhm.
only does mortgages. It's like we have lives, we get involved, and like anything, everyone either owns a home or likes to talk about homes. So it's an easy topic to discuss. And next thing you know, it's like you just become that go-to person where anytime you run into someone like, hey, what's going on with rates today? Or, hey, what happened in the market? I saw this headline. Is this true? So
Yep.
I think that definitely helps with, creating that outside business that's not necessarily just realtor or real estate focused, within offices and your day-to-day caravans and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you touched on something there that I know a lot of loan officers are going to perk their ears up. And
Mhm.
you send a daily email to all of your real estate contacts with rates in it every day.
I do.
Um, like from the number of deals that you do every month, how many deals a month would you say come from that email outreach?
From that email, probably at least 2 or 3. I mean, we easily get 2 or 3 from that, just because, again, you get someone who calls you and, you know, "Hey, saw the rate. Hey, I think I got someone for you. They're really rate sensitive and choppy, so, just giving you the heads up." And I'm like, "That's fine. I think we're gonna beat out everyone anyways." We price ourselves aggressively to be a high volume type brokerage. So I think we definitely see a big turn. If anything, at least again creates that conversation with the realtor that I may not be working with yet, that's now talking to me without me having to go chase them down, or
Right.
blow up their phone and beg for, let's go to coffee, let's get a drink. They're asking me like, hey, is that the rate? What, here's my client, what do you think their rate would be? Cool. All right, let me introduce you guys. I think you guys might be a good fit. So it definitely does help.
That's amazing. Well, not a strategy for everybody, but certainly something that's super valuable. So, um, now let's talk. So I'm interested because I don't know the answer to this question from a technology focus. Are you guys leveraging artificial intelligence in your business at all? What type of technology are you leaning into right now to help grow the mortgage business?
Mhm. So we're just starting to get into the AI. So I do use ChatGPT a lot, just for marketing, creating marketing plans. Um, like everyone, I've been bad at social media, and it's something that I put as a rock for myself for this last Q4 going into next year to really get back on the train of consistently posting, showing my wins, showing closings, because for a while there, we got busy with that refi boom, and my social media went from I was posting consistently to I was posting once a week to I wasn't posting at all.
Yep.
So again, I was trying to get back on that front of mind. uh Again, just showing that I'm out there and actually doing stuff. I'm actually working, not just in the dark and and disappearing, playing the disappearing act. So that's definitely been something I'm working on. But we use our software. It's very user friendly in terms of it's just an all-in-one. So I don't have three, four, five different, CRMs, LOSs, POSs. I have one system that does it all. I can text and call out of it. It's got all the plugins. So if I want to, you know, plug in if I ever decide to do Zillow leads or do a Zapier or do any sort of those additional outside third-party plugins, it has that kind of keyed up and ready for it. So
That's
it's
awesome.
really easy in terms of integration and then our website too also has a quoting feature. So it pulls quotes from like Loan Sifter and pulls it in there. So that way you're getting real time interest rates. And again, you can set it up to almost be a funnel of a sort. But again, we're just trying to go organic for the time being. We don't want to grow too quick because personally, I think we have exciting things for our business, but I just want to make sure we're able to actually handle it because for me, I'm all about the customer service side of it and making sure that, we're not just churning and burning and, you know, I don't want a client to call in and think that, we're the bottom feeder just trying to get the lowest rate, best
Yep.
person for anyone. It's like, no, I want that person to be a client for life. Like I said, it's a long-term game. I don't see myself leaving this for a while and really want to build something because I've already seen it happen. Like you said, three or four cycles. I've had clients that I've helped three or four times, and to the point where now they're like, all right, we're on to our third or fourth house and building an investment portfolio now and asking, hey, do you have a CPA or financial advisor? Because I think we're starting to get in that point where, we need to move some of our assets around and where do we reallocate this money? It's exciting to see people, that you've helped and you had that initial conversation of growth and using housing as a way to build generational wealth and then them
Mhm.
actually do it.
Yeah.
So it is exciting and that's that good feeling you get that takes over those tough days that you have in this industry. Everyone has them.
Hmm.
So that's you got to find your why. What pushes you to that better place.
Yeah, absolutely. Matthew, thank you so much for being so generous with your time and your knowledge. Where do people go to find out more about you?
Yeah, so you can go find me. I'm on all social platforms, Instagram and Facebook, at mmoreno14 for Instagram, Matthew Arthur Moreno for Facebook, and then our website's greatratehomeloans.com.
Nice. That's awesome. Right on. Well, again, thank you for being on the show. And to all of our listeners, thank you for listening. And we are looking forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Of course, no, thank you so much, Chris, for having me. Appreciate it.